my cowboy chords, teaching me my theory, my scales. Meanwhile, my buddies, Travis, Nathan, and Brian, are cruising away learning Kiss song after Kiss song. And I'm like, what'd you learn? I'm like, I know what pentatonic scale is. It wasn't cool. And Take Hold of the Flame, and I'm playing the solo, and I actually played it very well. But I remember John, one night, I'm playing it, and he kicks my wah pedal. It was a bad horsey. He's like, there's no wah in Queensryche. Like, I got a proposition. You guys got a singer, I got a singer, I need a bass player, and I need a guitar player. There's a bassist, there's a guitar player, but there's two singers. Put them together. So at that point, I'm taking a break from music. My mom's sick. I'm sick. I'm burnt. We were playing all the time. I just didn't want nothing to do with it anymore. Wound up selling everything minus one guitar. I kept my Michael Wilton guitar, for obvious reasons of Queensryche. But I took a break. The break was about 2 years. I didn't think I'd ever play music again. Wound up getting a call from Robbie Sparks again, wanting me to do a fill-in show playing bass, and I'm like, I don't play bass. I play guitar, and I haven't played guitar in 2 years. I remember I played 2 shows. The reason he needed me to play bass is Drew. He was in a band with Drew, and his son had a football game or something, and they had a big show out in Lewiston. So I had to learn like 5 songs on bass. So I was like, fine, I'll do it. He was, I'll have a rig there and everything. Just go there and play. That band didn't go nowhere. It was just hey, I'm going to fill in and jam with my buddies. So I did that, but it was enough to give me the bug. I do remember the drummer was Joey Franks, because he called me. He's like, hey, I know you're done, but I got a proposition. Shit, here we go. Proposition was he had a new band started. We got this killer female singer. Smoking good. She's amazing. I'm like, well, who do you got? Who you got? I got John Whately on bass. Me on drums. We got a singer. I need a guitar player. All right, I'll do it. I was like, but I don't have nothing for gear. He's like, John's got you covered. He goes, you still got a guitar, right? I'm like, yes, I got a guitar and a practice amp. He goes, John's got you. All right. So I go over to Wheatley's house again, and we jammed. And yeah, the female singer was actually Selena, who's actually now married to John, Selena Wheatley. I can't remember her maiden name at the time. Yeah, incredible vocalist. I mean, it blew me away. I'm like, holy crap. So I'm like, yeah, I want to do this. So we put that band together. That band was called Stranger Danger, which is probably my favorite band name I've ever been in. Perfect band name. But Stranger Danger did real well for a while. We did it as myself, Joey, John, and Selena for a while. Selena wound up stepping away. John wound up moving away from bass to being the frontman singer, which is where he belongs. John is a great frontman. We wound up bringing in Mel Fulton on bass. If you don't know Mel, you need to meet Mel. Mel is one of the nicest guys on the planet. I keep on saying that about everybody, but I love all you guys. But no, Mel is my buddy. Mel kept me out of trouble. Stranger Danger gigged a lot. We did every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for about 2 years. We hosted open stage at Goatees. A lot of the times during the week, my wife couldn't make it to the shows. I would sit with Mel at the bar and be like, you sit with me, I'm an old man, go have fun. I'm like, nope, you are my alibi. I'm sitting with my buddy Mel. And that's what Mel was, my alibi. He was a good guy. I went there, did my open stages, hang out with Mel, drank some beer, came home, went to work the next day. Did that for 2 years. It became a lot. Stranger Danger, Brent Huntley was not in Side Project. Brent Huntley was in Stranger Danger, so I apologize for that. Joey had left. Brett came in, did a couple of gigs, didn't work out. I believe Joey came and went with Stranger Danger. He had a lot of stuff going on at the time, so he came and went. Terry Dickinson actually came in on drums for a while. And I don't know if you know Terry or not. He's not well known in the area, and he should be. Great drummer. Super easy to work with. Just a good dude. So anyway, we did Stranger Danger for a while. Like all bands, it phases out after a while. It was actually... I have to keep on looking at my cheat sheet at this point. My life's kind of hazy. John actually had walked away from Stranger Danger. Wanted to put it to bed. He was done. We had done so much. I know now he was putting Trailer Park back together, which is great. It's where he belongs. Those are his brothers, man. I'm happy for John. He's with Boo and Joe, and that's where he should be. Good spot for him. Good call. But anyway, after I had left Stranger Danger, Robbie Sparks calls me again. He's got this band together. He's got this amazing female vocalist, this amazing drummer, and I'm like, oh, my band just broke up, so what the hell? So I go over there, and it's Robbie Sparks, Drew Barnes. Where you get Robbie, you get Drew. And then David Miller on drums, great drummer, super nice guy, great drummer. And this is when I first met Melanie Finley. Again, like Selena, blew me away from the beginning. Her vocals were stupid good. I'm like, yeah, I'm in. It almost felt like Stranger Danger all over again, except for they were going to go more in the dance realm. That band was Beautiful Disaster. We wound up getting a cease and desist letter from Beautiful Disaster Clothing, so we had to change the name, and we couldn't think of anything better than Hectic 3. So Hectic 3 is back together. I go back and laugh. It was so stupid. Anything about it. We did that for a while. I actually, at that point, the band was going smooth. No drama, nothing like that. But I wound up getting a call from Eric Yarbrough. I had followed a band around on my off weekends called Mr. Sister. I actually discovered them one night when Warnie Hansman was running sound for him and needed some extra help. And he's like, you doing anything tonight? I'm like, no, help me run sound and haul some gear. And I'm like, yeah. So I went and saw him, and Mr. Sister, of course, if you've seen Mr. Sister, incredible group of people. Danny Seidel was actually playing guitar with them at the time and decided to step out, so they needed a guitar player. So Eric calls me, he said, hey, you want to audition? I'm already in a band right now, and it's going pretty good. He goes, well, we don't play out a whole lot. You've balanced bands before. You can do it. All right, that's cool. So I auditioned. They wound up hiring myself and a gentleman out of Bloomington who was already friends with Dan, the bass player, David. Our styles were night and day. I'm, Mr. Metalhead with a full-blown gain distortion. He's more into Phish, Grateful Dead, where he's playing half clean. The sound of the two guitars together was freaking awesome. I'm not gonna lie, the two clean guitar, distorted guitar together sounded amazing together. It worked very, very well. I was in Mr. Sister, I think 3 years, give or take. We did quite a few big shows. Unfortunately, I wasn't in the band back in their heyday when they were doing the huge shows. But I had a great time. That band just fizzled out. I came in on the last leg of it. It literally was just that. It fizzled out. I think they all got burnt. Bands all have a lifespan, and that one had expired. Again, no drama. It was a pleasure playing with them. I definitely had to step up my act. They were playing some complicated music. It really stepped up my guitar game at the time, which was nice. At this point, I'm balancing Beautiful Disaster or Hectic 3 and Mr. Sister, and wound up getting a call from my past, Glenn Denham, who wants to put a band together. Fear of Clowns is, on again, off again. They of course had recruited Andrew Vickers on guitar when I left. But that band's on again, off again. They're doing some shows, but not a whole lot. They're doing more writing and recording. This was on one of their hiatuses that they took. So Glenn's wanting to put together a band, and he's like, Skeff will come with me. I already got a drummer. He played with me in a band called Three for All. His name is Derek. Yeah, let's do it. So we put that together. That band was Drop Zone. Yeah, Glenn called me up. He was looking for a band. At the time, Mr. Sister was fizzling out. Still doing the Hectic 3, but again, kind of in retrospect, I'm not getting my metal fix. Drop Zone wasn't really metal. We did rock. We did some metal. We actually wound up doing Suffocating by Fear of Clowns. We actually wound up covering that, which put a little bug into me as well, which we'll get to that as well. But anyway, Drop Zone had a really good run. We played Twisted Smoke a lot. I think Dan booked us every 8 weeks, which may or may not have been too much, but we had a lot of good shows. Me and Glenn were able to rekindle our friendship. I love that guy like a brother. Like, God, we were so close. He was a great guy. The whole band was great. We did that for quite a while. Skeff wound up leaving, and we wound up recruiting Jason Godey, who will pop up later in the picture. So we did Drop Zone for quite a while. At that time, the acoustic shows were starting to become a big thing around here. Hectic 3 wound up falling apart. So, I remained friends with Melanie, of course. She was a big supporter of Drop Zone. She'd come out and watch the shows. She actually did one fill-in show one night for Mr. Sister when Tracy was out. I think she had a medical procedure or something done, and Melanie stepped in and just freaking killed it. Melanie can do anything. But anyway, we wanted to do some, she asked me about doing some acoustic shows. Acoustic shows were getting big at the time. We were really good friends with the guys at the biker spot. They needed some Sunday fun days filled in. So me and Melanie wound up doing an acoustic band called Double Standards. I didn't love it, I'll be honest. It was country music for the majority of it. She knows this. She knows I hate country music, but I did it because she's that freaking good. She's found a new guitar player, Scotty, and she's killing it. And he's better at the country crap than I am. It's just not my thing. At that point, I'm also doing acoustic shows at Glen under the name Uncle Dad, just because we're dumb and we like to do stupid stuff. Uncle Dad was acoustic act / comedy show at the same time. We literally winged it, but people ate it up. We did pretty good. I actually did quite a few Justin Murr shows, opening up for some of the national acts with the acoustic thing that we never have rehearsed. But it worked. It was a good time. So around that time, I'm still doing Drop Zone, doing the acoustic shows with both Melanie and Glenn. I'm out at Twisted Spoke one night watching, I think it was Unhandsome Devils. I could be wrong. But John Messiah's there, and he walks up to me. He's like, "Hey, how busy are you musically?" I'm like, "I'm busy, but not super busy, because as everybody knows, the scene is very much dwindling down, unfortunately, with the lack of places to play." And he goes, "Well, I got a proposition. I've been jamming with this cat named Brent Stortzum, and he's looking for a guitar player. What kind of music is it?" And he goes, "It's right up your alley. It's Ace Frehley, Cheap Trick, kind of stuff." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm interested." So I went over there and auditioned. It worked out. Brent had quite a few drummers play for him off and on. Didn't really find one that really stuck until I made the suggestion myself, having the ultimate rhythm section, in my personal opinion, which was Eric Yarbrough and John Messiah, which Jinx. So I'm on cloud freaking 9. I got Jinx's rhythm section in my back pocket at the time, so I'm super happy. So Eric was in the band for quite a while. We wound up cutting a CD with Brent, Stories from the Valentines. Eric wound up leaving. We got at that point, me and Brent just started doing some acoustic shows as well. Later on, Brock Messiah, John's son, stepped in, and he's now in the band. So I'm still doing Brent, Swordsman and the Valentines, which is myself, Brent, John, and Brock. At that point, Drop Zone had phased out, but he was missing doing the heavy stuff. Mark was leaving. He got laid off through Mitsubishi, and thought he was going to have to move away. He wanted one final hurrah with Fear of Clowns, so he called me up. He's like, "Let's do a reunion, one show, and we're done." Yeah, let's relive it. Best time of my life. Probably the best, most successful band at the time I was ever in. Let's do it. So we wound up doing it. It was myself, Glenn, Skeff, Glenn, and Andrew. For the first time Fear Clowns had two guitar players. There was a brief time where Tony Baxter was in the band with Andrew. I think they only did a handful of shows. But it was myself and Andrew, both on guitar, which was fun. We could actually do all the overdubs on the album, so it was real thick, full sounding. We wound up doing two shows. It was fun, and that was pretty much the end of that. At that point, I wound up getting a call from Eric, who was in a band called Heavy Water. Their guitar player, Rich Crow, was getting ready to leave, and they needed a replacement. My first words to Eric, I had seen Heavy Water, was like, "That's way beyond my skill set." And if you know Eric, he will push you in a good way. He's a good dude. He was like, "Bullshit, you got this. You're dedicated. You can do this." So I literally locked myself in this room for probably a month, and I learned the entire night. Because if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. I wound up showing up at the audition. I remember Mark Elkins asking me, "So what do you know?" I was like, "The night." "You learn the whole night in a month." "Yeah." "All right, Pull Me Under." So that was my audition song. It was Pull Me Under, and I did. I nailed it. When I left, I felt like I accomplished something. That was awesome because I could actually, this was my chance to prove myself that I could play the technical stuff. I could play the stuff that the other people that I look up to was playing. I just needed the time to work it up, and I had a reason to do it. Heavy Water was awesome. It was definitely the most technical hard band I've ever been in. It doesn't get much harder. I mean, Rush, Dream Theater. We did La Villa Strangiato, for God's sake, just because we could. It was ridiculous. At that point, I wound up going down to North Carolina to visit my daughter, who was my grandson was born. So we were down there, and this is when COVID hits. Everything shut down. Heavy Water had an amazing year booked. We were booked at the Spoke. We were booked at Paradise, Cruisins. It was the dream year. My dream year has always been every other weekend. We had it. COVID hit. All the gigs were gone. We played one gig that year. While I was in North Carolina, our singer Josh Jackson decided, he had a lot of stuff going on in his personal life. COVID's hitting. This is the best time to step away. So he stepped away. I gave it a year. We auditioned a couple singers for Heavy Water. Nobody really stuck. To me, I was going to have to literally relearn the entire night. I had played that stuff. I was spending time with my daughter and my grandson, and just I didn't play much guitar at the time, and I was going to have to relearn all that stuff. So I wound up stepping away from Heavy Water just because I didn't want to relearn the entire night. They don't play out a whole lot, which is fine. They're all busy with their personal lives. I like to gig. They don't as much. So to me, it wasn't worth the time to relearn to gig 4 or 5 times a year. Right around that time, or a little bit before that time, I'm kind of stepping forward a little bit. It gets hazy when you have multiple bands. John had called me. Brent was kind of slowing down. He took a little bit of not really a hiatus, but a break. He wanted to slow things down from booking, and John wanted to do something. So he called me. It was in January. It was 13 degrees outside, which is the name of our first EP. Asked me if I wanted to jam with him and his son, Brock. What you got in mind? He goes, like a pop prog kind of thing. He goes, think Rush 90s, think Queensryche Empire, but not labeled in that box, but that's kind of what I have in my head. I got some songs I got written, and I need a guitar player. And I'll try my hand in it. I just learn all this hard stuff for Heavy Water, so yeah, I try my hand in it, and it just clicked right out of the get-go. Came up with, he sends me the bass riff for Never the End, and it's funny, most songs that I've always written, you hear them on the guitar, and John said, dum, 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 dum. I have to write a song over that. All right, so yeah, we were doing the Truth Council thing. John sending me bass riffs to play along with, which was weird. It took a little while to get used to. I'm like, I have no idea what the hell to do with this. But it wound up working. Never the End. We did something that I've never done with a band before, which is you write a song, you hone it for the most part, and then you go in the studio and record it. With Fear of Clowns, we had a whole album written. We went in, recorded it all, and that was it. With Truth Council, we'll write a song, go in and record it, and then we move on to the next song. That was my first experience in a professional studio at Eclipse Studios. Eric Nelson was intimidating as hell, but once I got to know him, he's one of the nicest guys on the planet. Like most musicians I know, he's got a ridiculous ear. I think he's got perfect pitch. The guy is incredibly talented. Very easy to work with. You have a place to record, Eclipse Studios, where you go. It's my little plug to him. But anyway, Truth Council, we write a song, we go to Eclipse, we get a batch of 4 or 5 songs, we release an EP. That went on for a while. We released 13 Degrees. I told you before I was kind of rushing it a little bit, but COVID hit. We didn't have a chance to really promote 13 Degrees. I'm down in North Carolina for a month. Everything's kind of put on hold for a while. I get back. We start writing music for the next album. John's like, we need a frontman. John's a great singer, incredible bassist, but he didn't want to do both at the same time. So he was pushing to get Mitch in the band. Mitch had just had surgery and was getting his vocals back. And he told John, give me a couple months and I'll do it. And it wound up happening. He showed up, sounded great. We hired him. He's now in the band. Truth Council is going very strong. I'm very, very, very happy with the band and the direction it's going. We're working on our third EP now, which I believe is actually going to be a full album. Brock is writing an epic. He's got this thing in his head to write this 12 to 15 minute long epic. So be on the lookout for that next year, more than likely, hopefully, if he ever gets the thing written. So yeah, that was what I was doing now. The newest thing that has come up my alley is we did decide also to put Fear of Clowns back together. I got a text from Glenn on a Friday night. He may or may not been coherent. He may or may not remember the text. But it literally said, "Man, this is stupid. We're brothers. Why are we not playing again?" That's literally what it said. And I replied back, "I'm game." And he's like, "Text Mark." So I did. I text Mark. I'm like, "Let's just do this. This is dumb. Let's just do this. We're all getting old. We love the music. We can still play. Let's do it while we can." And he's like, "You got a bass player?" I'm like, "Yeah, Jason Godey. He played in Drop Zone. Killer basses, killer dude, easy to work with. Let's just do it." And literally that was it. We got back together. We wound up playing a couple cover songs, just knocked the rust off. We wound up playing the first album in its entirety. We started writing again. We have the second CD all but written. I think we're 2 songs shy. We have a majority of it already recorded. Mark's son is recording the CD for us, doing an amazing job. That CD will be out, probably not this year. It will probably be early next year. We want to make sure it's right. It's been said for years, the next Fear of Clowns is coming. I promise you, it is coming. It will be here next year, early next year. Plastic Green Army Men. I wound up getting a call or a text from Bobette, who happens to be John's wife, that she's putting a cover band back together with Troy Mackey. They got a bassist, they got a drummer. Seth Boggs on drums, Nate Arrington on bass, which goes all the way back to the beginning of this video, if you remember, who taught me how to tune my first guitar, who taught me my first song, which was Strutter by Kiss. Full circle. Now in a band with Nate Arrington, which is awesome. We grew up together, always wanted to play with Nate. I'm in. So yeah, Plastic Green Army Men back together. Some old members, some new members. We did get the former members' blessing. That was one stipulation I had. But yeah, Plastic Green Army Men. What you know and love, all the 90s covers, some old classic rock. So I'm going to continue to do that going forward, along with Fear of Clowns, Brent Swartzum and the Valentines, and of course Truth Council. That has been my music revolution through the years. Very long story. Everything kind of ties in with each other. My advice, don't ever burn a bridge, because people always will come and go in your life, and they will always pop back up. Who do I consider legend in the area? The entire community. This area is awesome. We all know this. All the videos that Kenny is doing, everybody has said the same thing, and I agree with it. I've seen us all get together when one of us goes down. It was proven with Joey. We all got together and battled for her. So everybody in the area. A lot of people that don't get mentioned, guys I play with, Mark Toland, he's been around forever. Great guy. Love him to death. Consider him a brother. Glenn Denham, Jason Godey. Of course, John, he's already done a video, but we know him from the Jinx fame and Megasonics. Brock, watch out for this dude. He is way up and coming. Killer. Other legends, Eric Yarbrough, obviously. He needs to do a video. Mark Elkins, Barney, Josh. I'm trying to think all the guys I've named. Robbie Sparks, he's not in the scene much anymore, but he needs to come back. He's too good not to be singing. Melanie Finley, by far, probably one of the best female vocalists out there, especially with the country genre. Amazing. I feel like I'm going to forget somebody I don't want. So if I don't mention you, I'm sorry, because everybody out there. Troy Mackey, Bobette, Seth, another person. First time I've jammed with Seth. Watch out for him. Jesus. Dude, there's something in that blood on that line, man. Incredible drummer. Along with Brock. Eric Yarbrough, watch out. These two are coming for you.